Hello everyone. Today we will be looking into a Maestro use case where we will see multi-agent orchestration project which showcases the autonomic revenue cycle capabilities. The core problem is that the hospitals in the US loses around $262 billion every single year because of denied insurance claims. So almost 5 to 10% of these claims are denied on the first pass. In order to fix these denials, there has to be different path or different routes for every single case. That could be coding, clinical necessity, duplicate errors, or some other things that has to be handled completely differently. So the resolution is currently fully manual. Either someone has to follow up with the insurance team or someone has to manually check up with the team. In order to make this efficient, we have built this solution where an agent classifies these particular denials, route it into a different path, and completely handles the denied case until it's paid off or it has to be escalated. So this is the project architecture. The moment a claim is denied, an AI agent reads the denial and classifies it. A router then dispatches the case into its separate paths where no human decides where it goes. Inside each path, a purpose-built agent builds the fix. A human reviews it at the exact point where the compliance or liability demands it. Then RPA submits the result to the payer. The case waits and the polls for the outcome, and stakeholders are emailed at every single stage. Our design rule throughout is agents reason, bots execute, and humans decide. We never use an agent where a simple rule or API call would do the job. So here are some of the different routes that we have already identified. The path A, that is for medical coding error. If there is any error while filing the claim, that those denied cases will route through this path. And path B will be only for clinical necessity. If the claim denier says that the procedure is not clinically viable or necessary, then these particular agents take over and route the case into this particular path. Then comes the path D, where the patient outreach has been done. If the patient has given wrong payer details or wrong claim details, then it will be routed back to patient where exact details are requested from the patient. And then comes the final path, the path E, where the billing review has been done. If there is any mistake or duplicates in the claim, then the case will be routed into path E. This is how the input file looks like. So each of the denied claims will be received as a JSON data, and each of the data will be passed individually into the route where the bots and the agents will take over and decide what exactly the things that has to be done in order to get this denied claim sorted out. We currently have a piece of Python code that simulates the mock payer portal, which sends us the API data for each of the insurance claims. So based on the endpoints, we can either get the status of those particular status, or we can even post the updated details into that particular endpoint. So this API simulates the payer portal, which helps us communicate the data between agents and the final destination. I have also used Cloudflare tunnels in order to expose the locally hosted API over the internet on this particular domain. So let's see the working of path A in action. If I start entering the data that is associated with path A that has been taken from the JSON, we can see how the data flows into path A and the processing takes over. The incoming data has been received and it has been routed to denial classification agent, which identifies which exact path that it has to be taken. Once the path A has been autonomously selected, the coding correction agent takes over, which corrects any of the coding error or procedure codes error that is present in the insurance claim. After the agent corrects the required data, it has been sent to human in the loop for the review purpose. For manual review, the data has been sent like this. Approver has to identify what exactly the original codes and what are the corrected codes for this procedure, and approver has to approve the data. Once the approval completes, then an RPA bot takes over, which exactly appeals that particular claim at the payer. Appeal has been completed, then the polling starts. So for the appeal status, after every 6 hours, the polling will take place, which exactly shows whether the insurance appeal has been accepted or declined. This polling mechanism takes place over the deadline period that has been specified by the insurance denial company. These are the claim completion details that will be sent to the stakeholder. After the polling completion, if the insurance has been approved, then again the stakeholders will be finally informed before completing the path. So like this, the agents and the RPA procedures take over. So like this, the RPA and agents in combination with human in the loop takes over and helps us get the insurance amount completely settled. So let's see part E, where the duplicates or the unnecessary claims, repeated claims has been handled successfully. As once we receive the data, the denial classification bot will automatically classify the route. The data has been successfully routed to path E, where the billing review agent will take over and identifies whether this is a duplicate claim or a new claim has to be submitted. So once a successful appeal has been done on the declined insurance claim, the polling starts, and the bot and the agents will look into the payer portal every 6 hours in order to identify whether the claim has been paid off or rejected. If the payer successfully acknowledges the claim and they decide to pay it off, the flow will automatically go into appeal approval path, and the stakeholder will be finally informed about the details. Similarly, there are other two paths as well. Path B, which actually challenges the clinical necessity. If the denier says that these particular procedures are not medically deemed or necessary, then the clinical evidence agent will collect all the clinical evidences supporting to the claim. It will pull the clinical notes and all the procedure details, and a human in the loop action takes over, where the reviewer will review all the data collected by the agent, and it will follow a similar path of appealing the rejection claim and polling the claim status again. Similarly, in path D, this will be only for patient outreach. It will check for the eligibility. If the patient has given any wrong insurance provider details or anything, the patient outreach agent will analyze those situations, and a human in the loop action will be taken over, which is then reviewed by the internal insurance team, and the final email will be sent to the user as long as they won't provide the correct insurance details.